Hey Virgo, happy December 2017. This is Dark Dove Tarot. I hope you're doing fantastic. As you know, I always pre-shuffle. I'm going to add a little more energy to the cards before we get started. So, Virgo, wow. I have to say, last month, I started off by saying how much I liked Virgos, how many Virgos are very personal to me, you know, in my relationships, friends, etc. And I got a brazen backlash on that. So I have to say I was a little surprised, Virgo, because I get people who say, hey, you know, a lot of readers are negative about Virgos, etc. And I just am not, because my channel is to lift you up and not bring you down. And if that's something that bothers you, I may not be the best reader for you, because my intention is not to make anybody feel bad and to try and read the good in every scenario. Now, some scenarios are not going to be good. Some scenarios, there's just no other way of reading it other than, hey, there may be some negative things going on here. But if you're looking for a reader who, you know, wants that negative or wants to put out that negative vibe, especially towards Virgos, I may not be the reader for you, because, you know, I took about 3 minutes extra time last month to say how much I appreciated Virgos, etc. And I have never seen backlash like that, negative, about somebody saying good things about you like I have before. So it was a few, but it was enough to be noticeable. So I have to say, you know, if that's the type of thing you bring into your relationship, you may want to rethink that, because it definitely doesn't get you any positive vibes. So again, that was only for a few Virgos. You know, you have the choice to watch my channel. I do this in my spare time, just like you watch in your spare time. So if you don't want to watch, don't watch. But I'm not going to sway the way I feel about Virgos, and I'm not going to start reading you negatively because of a few people who don't want to hear, good things about themselves. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, so let's get started. As you know, my reads are about love. I focus mainly on anybody who's single and possibly anybody looking to reconcile. Because if you think about it, reconciliation, you're still single, you're just maybe connected or tied to somebody else. So this is generally going to be about somebody who is single. And again, I'll touch on anybody who is looking to reconcile. This is general. So check your sun, moon, and rising. As some months, those may resonate with you more than others. Again, you know, I hope it resonates with the majority of you, but if it doesn't, check your other signs as well. Any likes, comments, subscribes are always greatly appreciated. If you want a private read, the information is in the description. So let's get started. So I pulled your theme of the month card here, and Virgo, you come up as your theme of the month, which tells me Virgo's very in tune with themselves this month in December. You're retreating from maybe past behaviors, or if you're single, you're kind of moving away from the old style of trying to find love. Maybe you're coming up with new ways, but this is kind of, you know, changing pace a little bit. This is getting in touch with your spiritual side. So maybe because of the holidays here in the US, or whatever it is to you, something inside of you is saying, okay, like there's a moment of nostalgia, or a moment of just kind of feeling a higher sense of power coming to your life, whether you believe in God or whether you believe in, you know, the universe at work. You're definitely noticing that there's something higher than yourself kind of directing or trying to help out this month. So let's see, your current position coming into the month is the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is a curiosity. This is something that has sparked inside of you. So if you're single, I think a lot of you have taken some time off, or a lot of you have kind of not focused on love. Like I said, I think last month or the month before, you know, Virgos are earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. And so you tend to, you know, excel in work and money and finance and all of the logical aspects. Not that you're bad at love. It's just, generally it's not like romance isn't the big thing you focus on. Now, I'm not saying you don't at all, but when you put your energy, when Virgos put their energy into something, they put it in wholeheartedly. And a lot of times when I read, it's work that you're putting it into, or family, or something very diligent. And this is saying you're coming in putting work into, you're going to start putting a little more work into the romance aspect. You're going to start looking at dating again. I really feel like some of you have taken a hiatus, or if you've been like on a few online sites, you might be getting a couple dings or a couple notifications that people are interested, but you just really haven't answered. It's almost like a lull has been felt. And now either someone or something has sparked your curiosity. Either you've come back and you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to try it again, but I'm going to do it different this time. I've taken some time to myself. I've gotten to know myself. I've really gained the wisdom on what I want and what I'm looking for. And I'm ready this month to kind of put that into play. The page is saying that if you are dating, let's say, even if it's a slow lull, some of you could be dating, consistently. I just don't see it like a rush, like dating, 5 times a week or whatnot. But the page says that if you are dating, or if you're going to date again, somebody's going to spark, like, you're going to be curious about somebody. Somebody's going to spark something inside of you that maybe you weren't expecting. And that's going to kind of push you into a little bit more of a romantic direction. Now, it could be just, it could be even like maybe a sibling or somebody you know said, hey, you're a really good catch. What are you doing? Why haven't you met anybody? And you're kind of like, I am a good catch. What, I deserve somebody good. Maybe the bad times or maybe the things I've experienced before, it's not fair for me to dwell on those, and just give love another chance, or at least get back out there. If you're looking to reconcile, if you have had communication with them, then there may be something that comes to fruition where you guys realize there's a confidence here that you could build on getting back together. But it's slow. This isn't like a big spark that turns into a wildfire. This is kind of like a match being lit and you're going, could we do this again? Also, some of you may not be in communication with this person you're interested in, that you have a true connection with, and you're going to reach out to them or they're going to reach out to you. Now, Virgos are generally the most verbal when I talk about reconciliation. I get the most comments from you guys regarding this. So I don't know whether it's you or them that's going to reach out. We'll see what the rest of the cards say, but somebody is going to reach out, and there's definitely going to be some chance of possibly rekindling here. Now, you have your internal thoughts and feelings coming in December. So this is beginning December, how you're feeling, and you have the 5 of Wands. It's very interesting because you're starting with 2 fire signs, so maybe, or 2 fire cards. So maybe you're dealing with a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. But the 5 of Wands is feeling chaotic and not really feeling like you have your priorities in check. Now, I feel like if you're single, this is kind of coming in because you're going to start focusing on romance. And like I said, you're always on point with work and, duties and family and taking care of business. And then this is you kind of going, whoa, okay, how am I going to prioritize bringing love back in? Now, it could just be that you're trying to figure out where you're going to fit love in, because some of you do have, jobs. Maybe you're, heads of companies, or maybe you run your own business, or, maybe you travel a lot. So you're trying to figure out, look, I want the love. I know what I want now. I've spent this time figuring out what's important to me and, what type of person I'm looking for. And now you're going, okay, I'm ready to kind of bring that in. I have confidence that I can do this and that I'd be a good partner to somebody, but how do I fit this in? Because my life has a lot going on. Maybe you have a ton going on. Maybe you have a lot of hobbies, or again, you just work really hard. But this says you can fit in these priorities. You can make it happen. It doesn't have to be a competition. It can be that you set aside, okay, on Tuesday nights I don't have anything, and if I start dating, maybe I'll, be able to squeeze in a date. But let's face it, if you meet somebody that you really care about, that really sparks your curiosity, really sparks your fancy, you won't really have to find that time to fit them in. So I think you should worry less about the what ifs and more about what might be standing in front of you over the next few weeks. If you're looking to reconcile, this is about competition a little bit. So if you are in contact with this person, or you plan on getting in contact with them, or if they do you, either you or them may have other suitors available. So you may be dealing with people that you've been talking to, and this person's going to come back and you're going to be like, hey, you've had your chance, but you're still going to give them a chance. You still want to see what they have to say because there's still that true connection there. Now, if you're contacting them, make note, they might have 1 or 2 people that they're talking to or dating, or they just may be online dating or in meetup groups. And so you're really going to have to up your game. Just like if they are coming into your life, they're going to have to up their game. So the 5 of Wands is, just making sure that you have everything straight. But I think more for you, it's making sure you have your priorities straight in your head. I don't think you need to change anything or move anything around in your life. It'll just kind of happen. When it's meant to be, it's meant to be. The space will open up, regardless of whether you think you have it or not, to bring somebody into your life. The next card you have is anything in your distant past. So the past, few years, it's usually distant. So 5-10 years, it could be childhood. You have the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is about abandonment. So some of you were in past relationships. I always read singles and reconciliation together because generally this is not the person you're looking to reconcile with. Sometimes it is, but most of the time this is distant past. I always bring it up because we want to remember things that were good and take that from old relationships. And then we don't want to dwell too much on the bad, but we don't want to get back into the same behaviors or same habits of negative aspects of past relationships. And the Six tells me that some of you abandon something. You left your relationship. Maybe there was abuse, or maybe there was cheating. You literally cut ties and went. And it was the healthiest thing that you could have done. This also says that at some point in your life, maybe one of your parents was left, like maybe your dad or your mom disappeared. And so you vowed that you will never be that type of parent. You will never be a parent who disappears or fails their family. And not fails, because as parents, I know being a mom that, sometimes parenting can just feel like a fail sometimes, right? But what I mean by failing is doing something like disappearing or cheating or, whatever it is that could tear a family apart. And so I think some of you work so hard and you have such a diligence in that aspect because, you vow you're never going to see, you never want to be the single parent who has to work their butts off because somebody, left them. And so you're kind of like, I'm going to work really hard. So even if it doesn't work out, I have that security. Or you're working really hard because you always want to be the caretaker, the person to take care of things, which is very earth sign, mentality that you kind of are the glue that holds everything together. And the Six of Swords is saying, you don't always have to be that. Yes, you may have been in a situation where you watch a single parent work themselves to death. You were in a situation where a sibling or somebody, left their spouse or significant other. Somewhere along the line, there was abandonment. Maybe you felt the abandonment by the parent who left or sibling who left or whoever it is. And again, it could be a divorce you had. Somebody up and left you for somebody else, or you up and left them. But this is definitely, I think, Virgo feeling the retreat against them. Now, it could be that you had, an ex-relation or a past relationship die out because there was some sort of travel. One of you left for work. You thought you guys would make it happen. It didn't. Maybe it was college. One of you left for college. You thought you were going to make it work and you didn't. There's definitely somebody heading in the opposite direction of you or vice versa. The next card you have is your immediate past. So over the past 2 weeks, past month or so, and you have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles or coins is about new beginnings, new opportunities. So there's definitely something here that sparked in you, and you could feel those new opportunities coming in and prosperity and the potential that's there. The past 2 weeks, it could be that there's a new job, but I really think that you're focusing on the romantic aspect a little bit. And so you found either a new way to date, or you've decided to take on a new challenge, like talking to 2 people in the store when you go in anywhere, or, talking to somebody at the gas station. You're kind of like, it really feels like you've taken this time to kind of get to know yourself. And now you're kind of getting out of your comfort zone saying, okay, I want a new beginning. I want a prosperous relationship, home, financial situation. And you're like, I can do this. I can begin. And it's interesting because this is an earth sign card. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. So it's almost like you're starting yourself, Virgo, like you're starting your whole new cycle because your theme of the month is yourself, which I always thought this deck was interesting because it has the V for Virgo. I don't know why, but it strikes me as a V. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles for your past couple weeks, which tells me you're very much in your own space and in your own head. If you're single, you're aware of new opportunities and beginnings available. There are potentials here. So either you're meeting the right people, or you're starting a new website, or you're just starting with a new attitude. You're definitely starting new as moving into dating again. If you're looking to reconcile, this is a new beginning with you and this person. So even if there is some competition, There's definitely a spark that's going to happen here. There's definitely something that's going to, if you guys communicate again, it's almost like third time's a charm. I don't know why that came to my head, but it's like maybe this person you guys have tried to reconcile before, it didn't work, you know, whether it was you or them. And it's kind of like the ace is saying, okay, if we're going to make this happen, you know, we're going to make this new beginning happen, then now's the time, because the opportunity is now. The ace is saying, you know, here we go. The past couple of weeks, maybe if you've reached out to them or they've reached out to you, or you've been thinking about them. Some of you, I just picture like they've been on your mind or you've been on their mind. And it's funny because a lot of times when you're on somebody's mind, a lot of times they're on your mind. Have you ever noticed when you're thinking about somebody, or you've kind of pictured them in your head, or you come across them on Facebook, or you have an old memory, whatever it is, then shortly thereafter, one of you guys communicates with each other. It doesn't always happen, but I've noticed in my life, if I'm truly thinking good thoughts about somebody, or if I'm truly reminiscing, a lot of times somehow we connect in a, you know, in a different type of space, if that makes sense, and then it comes to fruition. So the potential's here. It's just whether you decide that you want to take it, or whether they decide that they're willing to grab that opportunity. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few weeks and the next month or two, and you have the Queen of Pentacles. So you're showing up all over this reading, Virgo. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is practical, so that fits you very well. If you're single, this is somebody who is nurturing and very maternal. So it may very well be that you're ready to take a different step. Maybe before you were just dating for lust, or dating for dating. It doesn't have to be a physical relationship all the time, but you were just kind of dating. Nothing was sparking your interest. Nothing. I don't know why spark keeps coming out of my mouth, because that's literally one of the definitions of this. But for whatever reason, you're about to spark into fire, like in a good aspect here, Virgo. So I apologize for how many times I say that word, but it keeps coming out. So I don't know. Maybe some of you have a nickname named Sparky, a dog named Sparky. I don't know, but there's something here to do with the spark. The Queen of Pentacles, like I was saying, if you're single, it could be you guys are, you know, have that kind of ticking clock and you're wanting to be parents. This is a maternal and paternal card. You know, maybe you are looking at your grandparents and the love that they had, and you're wanting to mimic that. Over the next few months, you're going to be taking great care and being very generous with your heart and being very romantic. You know, it's interesting too, because you have the beginning here, and then over the next few months, you get through the cycle of the earth signs. So, I mean, Virgo, this may be, I don't want to say destiny, because I almost feel like corny saying that, but this may be like the month that you're starting to come into a comfortable position and just being Virgo and going after what you want. The Queen of Pentacles to have as a distant future card is excellent, because this is, you know, becoming parents, becoming grandparents. This is long-lasting love, if that's what you're really interested in. Could just be long-lasting relationship with 2 dogs and a cat. Whatever your thing is, it's available for the taking. Again, pairing that you grab this opportunity, whatever this opportunity is for you. A new potential partner coming in, somebody you've met the past few weeks, or even if you're looking to reconcile. The Queen, if you're looking to reconcile, says that some of you do have kids involved here, and maybe you'll be doing holiday things together, and that kind of sparks that, or rekindles that romance a little bit. So the Queen, for anybody looking to reconcile, definitely says there's some sort of nurturing, maternal, paternal going on here. So you could have kids, maybe you have stepkids and you get to see them, and that kind of brings about the communication. However, for a lot of you, I don't think you've been communicating, and I think you're going to feel like generous with, I don't know if generous is the right word, although it fits this card. You're going to feel like spending the extra time in maybe pursuing this person that you've had on your mind, or they're going to be spending extra time pursuing you. Somewhere here, you're just, it's not going to be like a fight or a struggle. You're just going to reach out, or they're going to reach out. Or if you have been communicating maybe a little bit here and there, like a message once every few weeks, you're going to all of a sudden want to be spending more time trying to hang out with them again, or talk to them again, or they will be doing this for you. So somehow you guys are going to have more time. Maybe that's where the generous is coming from. You're going to be, you know, setting aside that time, making it a priority to, in fact, you know, come together again. The next card you have is your immediate future, so over the next few weeks and throughout the month of December, and you have the Seven of Coins or Pentacles. Again, another earth sign card. So definitely present here, Virgo, this month. Not that you aren't, but when I see cards like this, one after the other, you're working on yourself. You're moving through the cycle of being a Virgo or being an earth sign. So the Seven of Coins is about making decisions and assessing the situation. So you've had these opportunities the past couple weeks. They're going to come into December with you. At some point, you're going to be making some choices. Maybe you're going to meet one or two people and you're going to assess which situation is best for you, because that's how you work. You're very methodical. You think things through. You're definitely not like these major risk takers, although I'm sure you've taken plenty of risks in your life, but this is something that's special to you. This is something that brings you here. So you're sitting here going, where am I going with this? Who do I want to be with? You may have one or two people and you may be deciding, you know, if you're single, you're going, am I ready for this? And if I am, is this the right person for me? Whoever this is that's coming in, that's really gonna hit your curiosity here, and build your confidence. You're feeling like it's a good thing, but you're feeling like you've been burned before and you don't want to make any decisions. That you're weighing the risk and the reward. You're going, if I were to get serious with this person, or if we were to start dating seriously, or if we were to start, you know, talking about commitment, what's going on here? What's the payoff? And not payoff like you need something, but you're guarding your heart and you want to make sure that, you know, this person's going to be an equal in making you feel secure while you make them feel secure. You know you're a good partner. You know that you'll take good care of them. You need that reassurance too, Virgo. We all do. And you need that this month. You need to know that if you put your heart on your sleeve again and you go for it, is this a good decision? I think it is, because the Queen of Pentacles is here and these opportunities and beginnings are being presented to you for that reason. And I think some of you know that too, because you've taken this time off. Now, it may just be that you're deciding on whether you should start dating again. And I think that you should, because I think the payoff, the risk of it is this. The risk here is paying off, you know, with amazing benefits, amazing things come to those who wait. I don't know why that came out of my mouth, but it did. If you're looking to reconcile, you're very much assessing the risk reward here, because you're going, hey, if we start communicating again, my feelings are going to get all twisted. My feelings are going to be that little ball in the stomach. If you're having those feelings and they're butterflies, fantastic. If it feels like it's pounding, you may want to pay attention to how you're feeling when you're around this person. You need to be careful. You need to assess the situation, because for some of you, this connection was so deep that it's like if you get burned again, or they're feeling like if they get burned again, you know, they don't know how they'll live and you don't know how you'll live. It's that kind of love that's like can be your best friend or your worst enemy. It's that kind of love that makes you hurt in places you forgot even existed, right? And so you really are saying, I'm excited about this. I want this person in my life. I've had a connection with them. But, you know, how much am I willing to sacrifice to get that connection back? And, you know, how hurt will I be? Although, you know, honestly, Virgo, I think that some of you, it's like either all in or all out. Either it's going to happen or it's not. And I feel like you're okay. For the first time, some of you, not everybody, but for the first time, some of you are okay with it. You're like, great, if we can make it work, fantastic. And I will be all in. But if we can't, it won't be the end of the world. I won't feel crushed this time, because I've already been through that once. And so this time, if something doesn't go right, it may hurt a little less, because I think during the interim, you've met people. You know you're capable of meeting people. So you know that you're hoping that if this person's the one for you, it works out. But if they're not, you're not going to suffer the way some of you suffered before. The next card you have is anything external. So anything going on throughout the month of December. Generally, it's tangible. And this could be the beginning, middle, end. It could last for a day. It could last for 10. And you have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is somebody who's learning. They're seeking answers. So if you're single, you're definitely doing exactly what I talked about coming into the month. You're definitely looking at the dating life. You're definitely looking at what you want. I really feel strongly some of you have taken some time off and have not been dating. Or again, if you have, it's been a lull. You haven't been putting that much energy into it. Now you're doing that. And the Page of Swords is saying, look, I know what I want. I figured out what I want. I know that I had to make some changes in myself, and that's what you were doing, being the hermit, and that's your theme of the month, is you're still understanding where you want to be, what type of person you want to be with, but you're also like understanding the clarity of it all. It's like a light bulb moment. Like you went, okay, well, if I go after this type of person, I get this result. If I go after lust, I'm going to get lust back. If I put into the universe, I want something special, I'll get something special. But you also have to be genuine. And you know that sometimes in relationships, I've said it before, you think like, hey, if I say I love you, it means I love you and you should just believe I love you. And other people need sometimes a little more reassurance. And I think, Virgo, you're working on, you know, having a little more of that heartfelt energy. You're really seeking clarity as to what you're learning about yourself. And you're wondering, why am I blocked off sometimes in love? Why am I 1 minute able to give a lot of love and the next minute still on guard in defense? And I think that you're kind of overcoming that. And again, this is something, it's just like a work in progress. And I think it's wonderful because I think that you're understanding yourself so well and you're appreciating yourself and you're realizing like just how good of a partner you are. You've known that, but now it's almost like you're seeing the underbelly of it, if that makes sense. If you're looking to reconcile, you're also looking for some sort of truth here. So if you do start getting in communication, I think you're feeling like I need 100% honest truth. Now, some people are seeking this from you too, because I feel like some of the relationships with you, Virgo, just dropped off, like off into, you know, faded away. And, you know, you've got to remember that if there are any unanswered questions here, they need to be resolved. They need to be, and even if you don't want to delve into that or whatever, or even if they're saying, well, what happened? And you don't want to really get into that, you may need to just address those things. It doesn't need to be this huge, you know, like come to Jesus where you guys start fighting or anything like that. But they may say, you know, what happened? Virgo, I thought you loved me a lot, or vice versa. You may be asking the questions, but there's some sort of truth that's being sought out here. And I feel like if you don't address it, even if you just say, look, the timing wasn't right or whatever, they'll feel vindicated, or you will, because you get some sort of answer, right? The next card you have is any feelings internal throughout December. And this is, again, could be in the beginning, middle, end, could be throughout the entire month or one day. Now, for some of you, I feel like this is going to be one day. If you're looking, if you're single and you're looking, the Tower is like revelation. I feel like this entire month is almost revelation for you, because this whole row here is about figuring out exactly what you want, and it's all harnessed with earth energy. The Tower is a revelation of you saying exactly what I said here. I know what I want, now how do I get it? Here you're understanding that I think that Virgos know that what you put out there you get back, but I don't think you understand it, how wholeheartedly that can happen sometimes. And now all of a sudden it's like you did. Like you've realized like, okay, well, if I put this type of energy out into the universe, that's what I'm going to get back. And here you're understanding that not everybody works the same way you do. And so there may be people that you have to spell it out for them and be like, hey, if I say I like you, that means I really like you. And that's how it works for me. And they may say to you, well, that I am needing a little more reassurance. And now you're going, okay, I understand that. And I am perfectly happy to give it to you if it's the right person who comes into contact with you. Now, I'm going to say this, Virgo, the Tower is about breaking down walls around your heart, breaking down walls around your gut. You're doing some major work here, Virgo, and this says that you're ready to break it down. This says that internally you're going, okay, I've got to open up. I've got to be willing to accept love in order to give love. And I think that's really important, Virgo. And I actually think it's beautiful because this is saying, look, you've held up this strong, barrier for a long time. Break it down. Even if it's brick by brick, just break down. Let somebody come back into your heart. It's worth it. If you're looking to reconcile, this is a breakdown as well, but this is a new foundation. So this is you saying, look, the way we did things in the past, it's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. We've got to tear the whole thing down and start fresh, if that's what you want to do. And what you're doing right now is debating on if that's what you want to do. Because at some point you felt betrayed. Somebody betrayed you. Somebody broke your heart. Somebody made you feel insecure, and you're not feeling secure about getting back together with them. It may not even be the person you're communicating with now, although for a lot of you, I think it is. If you're communicating, like I said, that's coming because it's like on the horizon. But the Tower's saying, look, you know, you guys can have this. You guys can have something amazing, but you've got to have a dissolution of what was. You've got to dissolve all the hard feelings, all the distrust, you know, whatever it was between you. You've got to make a decision to start with a clean slate, a clean foundation. If you don't, you will end up exactly the way you were before, unhappy and pissed off. The next two cards you have are your hopes and fears at the end of the month. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Of course you do, because, Virgo, the Knight of Pentacles is the end. No, sorry. It's the King of Pentacles that's the end. But this is coming closer to this. And again, it's Earth sign energy, and it suits you very well. So you've got pentacles all over the place. So it could mean, too, that you're dealing with a Taurus or Capricorn as well. And your outcome is the Star, which is beautiful. She's been showing up a lot this month, so I think a lot of people are just ready for a change. Again, if you're here in the U.S., it could be the holidays are bringing up nostalgia, and that's making people feel more lighthearted, more like, you know, feeling in love. But the Star, she's been showing her face quite a bit, more than any other month I've had this year, so that says something right there. Means I think really good things are coming. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles here, again, this is internal, but this is you being that hardworking, diligent, cautious person again. So if you're single and you're looking for somebody, or you're, you know, tempted to start dating again, I do think somebody's coming in that is going to spark some sort of interest. That could eventually get you to this, where you want to have kids, or you want to adopt pets, whatever your outcome is. It doesn't have to be marriage. It doesn't have to be kids. It could just be a healthy relationship. But the Queen is saying, look, I'm here for the taking. And the Knight is saying, I'm going to work hard at it. And I'm going to work hard at things like I normally do. But any opportunity that comes my way that I see fit, I'm going to work hard at. But I'm going to be cautious and methodical. Again, a perfect Virgo card, because this says while you're working hard at all aspects of your life, you're finding that priority. You're going to find that balance of this love, of bringing that love in and making things happen. And again, you're going to be cautious about it, but you're going to be mindful about it. You're going to think things through logically, because that's what you do. But you've also found out so many things about yourself and discovered this so many things about yourself. And maybe even some of you thought, I don't want a relationship. And now you're realizing, I do want a relationship. Or some of you thought, I never want kids. I never want to get married. And now some of you do. And it could be the complete opposite. Maybe some of you realize you don't. You'd be perfectly content just dating, or just meeting somebody to have as a really good friend, and maybe possible physical relationships. I think the majority of you are looking for something a little more than that, but whatever it is, this says you're going to work hard until you find it. And you're putting that energy into the romance department, not just, you know, all other aspects of life. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, the Knight says, look, you can handle, because you know that if you fall for something that isn't genuine, you're going to end up hurt again. So it's definitely time to rethink. You know, I would, and I know you have been, because a lot of you have been thinking about it for a few months. If it's what you want and you want to take the chance, then go for it. You can be cautious, though. That's the thing about the Knight. You can still be careful and go out and enjoy yourself. You can still extend the olive branch. You can still have them extend the olive branch. Heck, you can still kiss under the mistletoe and still be cautious. Just take it slow. The Star as your outcome is beautiful, because the Star is about hope and inspiration. Again, like I said, she's been showing up a lot. The Star could also be an Aquarius you're dealing with, but I feel like the Star here is pointing more at the actual, you know, sense of the card than the sign. But this is about, if you're single, there's some sort of inspiration at the end of December that leads you into wanting this. You could just be dating somebody. You could just meet one person. You could meet two people. Again, these opportunities. But one person is going to spark your fancy, and it's going to be somebody that you feel like building a future with to get to that Queen of Pentacles. And the Star says, look, it's going to be inspiring, and your self-esteem is going to slowly build. And again, that generous theme comes in, because you're going to feel more generous with your love and attention. I mean, there couldn't be a better way to end the month of December for you, Virgo, because the Star card is beautiful. Now, I'm going to start shuffling for the the clarifying cards for the outcome and the distant future. So the Star, if you're looking to reconcile, this is definitely, there is hope. There is a new turned leaf here. There is a possibility of reconciliation. Again, it's going to take hard work, but let me caution you with this, Virgo. If it takes too much work, it may not be the best situation for you. But I feel like it's not going to be negative. There's some sort of, like there's been a negativity before. I'm just going to take these two. There's been a negativity before with this person you're looking to reconcile with. There's never been a lack of love or a lack of connection. There's always been a lack of trust or security. Not always, but at the end, obviously it developed into something negative. And I feel like with the Star, it's saying, look, you may have a chance here to really view it in a positive light, to really appreciate what you have and how big of a connection you have and how much you still do love and care about this person. And that may be all you need to bring to the table. Whether you communicate with them or they communicate with you, that may be all you need to bring is that positive energy and that hope, which will then create a much better starting point than who did what to who. All right, so your clarifying cards here are the Knight of Swords on the outcome, which is very interesting, and Temperance. So the Knight of Swords on the outcome says, look, if you're single and you're looking, just be logical about it. But be careful not to be too direct, right? So Virgo's coming out, like I said, this month and just being Virgo, being like it or leave it. Take me or leave me, but I'm not changing for anybody. But you have changed in the sense that you've realized that it takes certain things in a person to be in a relationship or to have that. Like if you want a relationship, but you're texting this person once a week, do you really want a relationship with them or not? So Virgo started to realize, I think this month, more than ever, that what they want, and then realizing what it takes to be in that healthy relationship. The Knight of Swords is saying, look, now you're in a really good spot, but be careful too, because you don't want to come across as like, well, this is me, because none of us are perfect in relationships. So what it's saying is listen, because Virgos connect with people very deeply. With that connection can come very deep cuts if you're not careful in how you approach things. So if somebody says to you, I need to feel wanted by you a little more, or I need to feel a little more of the romance, or I like you a lot and I just need to know that you share my feelings, you're going to be very direct with them and you're going to say, this is how I feel. And you may not say what they want to hear. So just be cautious in the fact that there may be somebody out here who really likes you. And if you really like them, great. And if you don't, cut them loose, as hard as that is. I think you're diligently looking for the one, and that one is going to kind of force themselves into your life. I know that sounds weird, but it's like you're worried about how you're going to prioritize the love, but I think it's just going to hit you like a ton of bricks. If you're looking to reconcile, the Knight of Swords says exactly what I was talking about here. Don't focus on the negative. If you start doing that, all you will do is stab each other. All you guys will do is confront each other and have hostility. So be this Star. Have this hope and inspiration. Don't start getting into a pissing match over stuff that you can't control. Especially, some of you, it's been like months and years. If you really love this person, you really want to be with them, you cannot dwell on the past. Start new. But if all you can think about doing is how hurt you are or telling them how pissed off you are, move on. Stop the negative. Start the new year with something positive. Start the new year with the Star. The Temperance card for your distant future clarifying card is excellent because this is a balance. This is a dance of compromise. If you are looking to date or you are looking to eventually move into a relationship or find love, I think that person who's hitting you like a ton of bricks, I think they're going to make you be patient. And it's strange that I say that, make you be patient, because Virgos are very patient. But this person who's coming in is like somebody you can't wait to get a move on in life with. And Temperance is saying, look, everything in moderation. Take some time. Be patient. Be this hermit, because the Temperance card is saying, look, you know, things are coming and big things are coming. This Queen of Pentacles is like generations. It's about having kids and kids who have kids. This is building something amazing. And Temperance is saying, be in control, Virgo. You're always in control, but just compromise. Understand that maybe they won't move as fast as you, or maybe they're going to move faster than you want to move faster than you're ready to move. So Temperance is just saying, you're getting there. It's going to happen. It's just going to take a little time, and you're going to have to practice patience with that. If you're looking to reconcile, this is also about balance. This is about compromise. So again, this ugly, you know, pair of scissors that you could be yielding if you really wanted to, don't do that. Just compromise. Just saying, you know what? We were both shits to each other. You may have been a bigger shit. They may have been a bigger shit. I mean, whatever it is, can't you guys both just say, you know, we may have treated each other terribly. We may have said things, done things, but my heart wouldn't feel like this. I wouldn't feel broken without you. I wouldn't feel lost without you. You know, when I think of reconciliation or somebody that I truly loved, that I connected with, it makes you feel that stomach ache where you're like, you know, you loved them and you cared about them. We all have somebody from our past that we've cared about or loved in a way like none other, right? And whether you're with them or not, you know those feelings. And I'm very surprised sometimes when I get the comments about reconciliation, because there's a lot of finger pointing, a lot of, well, he did this or she did that, and then why do you want to reconcile with them anyways? If it was that awful and the love didn't outweigh the bad times, then why don't you move on? And I know it's easier said than done, but if all you're thinking about is how awful they were to you or how they won't communicate with you, once you start moving on and you start making decisions that suit you and are best for you, numero uno, they will start coming back to you because A, your positive energy will be radiating, and B, a lot of people want what they can have. And I know that's terrible to say, but it's true. So when I see a lot of the comments about reconciliation, I'm surprised. For me, Temperance is perfect about reconciliation, right? Because it's balance, it's compromise. It's both of you or any of us saying, look, I messed up, I'm not perfect, and you messed up. And what if they cheated? Well, guess what? If they cheated and you want them back, then you're going to have to at some point overlook that, because you can't have a relationship based on distrust. So you really have to think about if this is what you want, and if it is, then be patient and work on compromising and maintaining, and know that there's hope here and there's inspiration. That's all you need, is the hope and the belief. But if you're thinking the negative, then that's what you're going to get, is negative. So have this star, whether you're single or looking to reconcile, this is all you need. None of this matters. If you have this hope and self-belief and this inspiration, that's all you need. You can start with this and build from the ground up. All right, Virgo, have a great December. I will be talking to you before the new year. Bye.